Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to be figuring out how to place all our photos exactly how we want them in that diagram on the board. First thing we need to do is to change the layout of our sheet into orientation of landscape. So you click on layout, choose orientation, and then select landscape. You may find that it'll be either zoomed in or zoomed out. You need to make sure that it's so that you can see the whole page. Okay, if you can't see the whole page, you're going to have difficulty. So I always make sure it's about there, and that way when you put all the images on, you'll be able to clearly see where they go. Okay, so that's the first step, make it into landscape. The second step is to grab the first of your photos. So you'll be doing this for each of the different experiments, and each of the different experiments will have a different order in which you need to place them. Okay, so for this example, I'm just using 3 random images. For yours, you'll use the specific ones that you've been told. Okay, so for the first one, I'm just going to drag and drop it in, and you'll see it just goes on the left hand side, and I can't really move it about the screen. Okay, it just sits in where the cursor was. What we need to be able to do is to be able to both resize the image. 3 things really. We need to be able to crop, we need to be able to resize, and we need to be able to position. So to do those 3 things without the constraints of Word going onto it, we click on the image, go to Format Picture, and the very first one that I would do is change the wrap text from in line with text, meaning that whenever you type, it'll just go next to it, and then it will start a new line underneath. Okay, we don't want that. We want to have in front of text. So straight away, now I can shift the image all around the screen and it will let me. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is when you've been told to create the experiment, and there'll be a certain part of the image that is the important bit. Okay, so with the aperture one, it was the out of focus background versus the in focus foreground. Okay, what I want you to do is to clip the image so it's the same for pretty much each one, okay, so that you can focus on, so you can really show that little section of the screen that's important. So the way to do that is to crop. So you're going to make the image a bit smaller. Remember, we've got a specific order in which we are placing the images in, okay, in the specific shape. So we've got 3 squares, 2 rectangles, then 3 squares. So think about that as you are doing it. So I'm going to resize this so that it's a square that focuses on a particular part of the image that I would like to focus on. Doesn't really matter the size, okay, because we can make this bigger or smaller, and the image is actually bigger than that page anyway, so it's not going to lose any quality. Hit enter when you're done. So I just clicked on crop. Sorry, don't click enter, click crop again, and you'll see we've cropped out the rest of the photo. We can still move it around the screen as we need to, and we can resize it, which is the last step. Once you've done that, place it in the correct spot, and then you can go to work on the next one. Okay, so you'll have your 3 images, and then you'll have your 2 images, then you'll have another 3 images. In the same way, excuse me, in the same way, you'll be able to insert a text box to do the same thing. Document elements, I believe, text box, and it has the same constraints as an image. Okay, so you can still crop it, you can still change the text wrap so that it's over the top of the image. Okay, the last piece of information that you'll probably need is how to order your images. Okay, so that you actually don't need to crop them entirely if you can just slide it behind so it's no longer visible. So if you right click on the image and go to arrange, you can choose bring to front, send to back, bring forward, so it'll just bring it forward a layer, or send it back a layer. Okay, you can also make it in front of text or behind text. So if you've got that text box, it's very handy. That little tool is very handy. That should be all you need to do to create that. If you get a handle on this, it will make it very, very simple. Okay, if you don't get a handle on this, you'll have images going everywhere. Okay, good luck, get started.